Welcome back to the X Podcast. You're listening to Russ Moore. I am sitting here at the table with Jesse, Gunslinger, McCoy.
Okay.
Zach, Toes in the Sand Brown, and Moore from a different mother Moore. Tim, the Tool Man Moore.
Okay.
Your labels are pretty bad.
Listen,
They're getting worse.
it's been a fun day.
You use AI to create those labels.
You know what?
didn't you?
No, I use
I'm opening the next one. I'm gonna have a really good name for you.
Are you?
Yes,
I
I
don't
am.
need AI. I got RI. I got Russ intelligence, baby. So we're gonna listen.
Which is
the juices
on the
are-
same level as AI.
It's a few notches above. We are at the Knights table.
Yeah.
Does that feel
Okay.
better?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
the Knights
not the
table.
Putin table.
And the juices are flowing because it's been a fun day.
Yeah.
It is warmer and sunnier than usual in December.
Beautiful.
Reminds me of Everclear's song about having Mexican food on Christmas Day. And also, we are at a much drumroll anticipated podcast by popular demand from God and humans. Because
God likes these.
No.
I'm not sure God. I wouldn't
Probably
throw God's
not.
name in this.
we had just Olympic record-breaking mini series of podcasts over the summer between the three amigos here
Yeah.
of hot takes,
And,
light
and conspiracy
yeah.
theories.
and then we talked about just ad nauseum how fun it would be to bring you into the mix of this.
Oh,
And then
let's do it.
we were doing a podcast with Jesse here and realized that you had not really gone back while you're on sabbatical and listened to a lot of the podcasts. You went back, you got fired up.
You did
You
get fired.
started a group text, you became aggressive Alan there for
Aggressive
for
Alan.
a day. Attacked Rebecca Brown walking into Hope Day over, I forget what
That
the
wasn't
issue
over.
was.
That wasn't
That
over
wasn't
hot
over
takes.
hot takes.
What was that over?
That was just to attack her.
Oh,
It was over Disney.
Yes.
Was it Disney?
No, it wasn't Disney. It was.
I don't remember.
When we're moving.
Oh, yeah. We can't talk about that on the air.
Yeah, okay.
No, that's family drama.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Everybody pray for the Browns. So anyways, we're going to have our own little, to be honest, I'm still confused because I thought we said we're going to have a Christmas edition
I got
of
some
hot
Christmas
takes.
ones.
Yeah, we got some Christmas
But then
ones.
Toes in the Sand told me this is just general hot takes.
What-
No,
And Christmas
I
ones.
need an opportunity to jump in on some general ones, and we'll do some Christmas.
You
Yeah.
also wanted to add your incorrect opinions about some of the
no.
past hot takes.
Oh,
We'll set the record straight.
we will set the record straight on some of them. We will.
Okay.
Well, okay. Here, I had a question.
Can I be honest? I'm really concerned because I'm around the table with three non-foodies who I am afraid in my bones are going to bring some horrible thoughts on food.
Mine don't have anything to do with food. So
Okay.
you're good.
Okay.
I mean, I do. I think we
Already
all
know he's
collectively
got
at
one.
this table all agree that you're really strange about pretzels.
Yeah,
I think we all collectively agree that's
Yeah.
a strange thing.
it is.
Like, there's nothing wrong with a pretzel.
It's-
But you
it's
know what?
good.
I can accept that because I know I'm a minority in that.
Yeah,
I
that
understand.
is an odd one. But
I admit that. That is. It's a hot take.
I have before we jump into our hot takes.
Okay.
I just have a question for somebody at this table.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Jesse,
Oh gosh.
just going through one of your hot takes. Listen, I had thoughts about a ton of hot takes, but it's a simple question, right?
Okay.
I want to know if you still think that pets are overrated
See,
and that
yeah.
cats are better than dogs now that you own a dog and sleep with it every night.
Yeah.
Okay, where did that come from?
For some reason, I remember your wife saying something like that.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't know if that's totally
Keeps
accurate.
the bed warm.
But I remember what was strange was going
he
back and listening to that after the fact, and then knowing you preached
You have
on
a
not
dog.
long ago about your new
know.
member of your family
You
that
owned
you're
that,
in love
though.
with.
I
So
did, in one of the experiences, I did say, "Hey, I just said I didn't like dogs. I will recant that hot take."
okay,
You know what
So
made
they're not
me-
overrated, and cats aren't better than dogs. Is where you've landed now, or you're not sure
Well,
yet. Maybe
see,
even
I
No,
don't
cats are
know.
still better
I've
than
had
dogs.
one cat that was just awful,
yeah.
and
That'll
I have one dog that's awesome.
Was your
So
cat
I think
awful?
I've kind of experienced.
yeah.
Was your cat awful because it was a cat?
No, well,
No?
I had a cat growing up.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
The cat we had was great up until we had kids.
And then
So-
he's-
Can I be honest? This is
I
where
gotcha.
I went when I knew you were listening to it. I went back and listened to a few minutes, and I began to cringe because I realized that we had that conversation around dogs, and then you told me Lorelei was listening, and I was like, "Sweet Lorelai's listening to this," and our conversation happened right before
That wasn't.
What was your dog's name?
That wasn't Harley. You might have, but that we didn't listen to it then, so you're good.
I know, but I
He's just-
I realized that happened
Harley.
before
It's
Harley.
Before we sent Harley to heaven.
Before rest in peace.
Harley's in heaven.
Yeah.
Rest in,
Okay.
rest in power.
So I just kind of felt bad. Rest in power, Harley. Okay. Okay.
Alrighty.
Well, okay. So
Who's starting?
we are gonna. Okay, ground rules.
Okay.
We're gonna go around. You, boss man, you're back. You get to kick us off.
We each go one at a time?
So here's what we start with. We start with light hot takes. We got light and heavy.
Yep.
One at a time. So we'll start with you for light hot takes. Go around. Then once we've gone around, to be honest, I'm gonna be more just like a fly in the wall. I don't have a ton. You guys show me up on these hot.
I don't
takes.
have any real heavy
But-
ones. But I do have. I did bring a Christmas one or two to the table.
Okay.
So I have.
Do you really have some ones you want to set the record straight on?
No, I mean, let's get into the conversation because
Okay.
some of them might come out. There was at the time I was listening. I was like, no, yes, I agree with him. But one of the
And then after all that,
one of the
you
hot
wanna
takes I
stir
have does address a previous hot take.
Okay.
So it's
okay.
actually a hot
So-
take
so-
that addresses a different hot
So
take.
let's start with you.
Okay.
And then
So
you want to stir the pot about pot.
I'll give you a few. I'll give you a few. First one. Coffee is not good to drink due to its addictive qualities and terrible taste.
Okay. Yeah, just. I'm not surprised that you're bringing that one.
Okay, I'm
First
just
of
saying.
all,
Go ahead.
You're just wrong
Oh,
on so many levels.
okay. It's not addictive?
Caffeine is addictive.
Yeah, I know. And there's caffeine in coffee.
But there's caffeine in a lot of things.
Yeah.
You drink a lot of things
That's
with caffeine.
caffeine-free.
No,
Coke.
you drink a lot of things with caffeine in it. I know you do.
Yeah, but I'm not addicted to it. Most coffee drinkers are
I'm-
addicted to their coffee.
I'm not addicted to coffee.
Okay. So you
And I
could
drink
go-
coffee every day.
So you could like cold turkey. You don't drink coffee again for
week?
the next week, and you're not going to have headaches. It's not going to bother you. You're not going to come in all droggy and I don't know my name.
I mean, I would not say I don't know my name.
No.
I know.
Well, how much do you drink a day?
Probably 12 ounces.
Oh, so you're a light coffee drinker.
Is that light?
wait.
Yeah, that's somebody
I think-
that works in the same
I think
room as
he was
you.
thinking more like 12 cups.
Yeah, when you were about to say, oh, probably like 12 cups a day, I was going to be like, yeah, that's probably right.
Oh,
12 ounces?
12 ounces. That's like one
That's
cup.
like a
a little more.
I would say, what's a venti at Starbucks?
Oh, it's 16,
I
32,
You
74
usually
ounces.
get talls in the afternoon.
First of all, I have not been to Starbucks in a long time. I had Starbucks the other day on the weekend. That was the first time I've had Starbucks in probably about a month. Trying to save money. Second of all, I make coffee for me and my wife every single morning. It's like my way to like tell her I love her and like do all that in the morning.
I usually just
make
say
coffee. I say it also with giving
Okay.
her a warm cup
Hey,
of
you know
It
what?
is. That's a really good
Hey,
thing.
action speaks louder
They
than
did.
words.
And
I
then-
agree.
You say
and
that
then-
you've started giving her coffee instead of saying it anymore.
That's not what I said. That's again, Pastor Russ for you. No, I will take a travel mug and typically fill it up more than just your typical 8-ounce cup. So about 12 ounces, and that's about what that's all I've had today.
Okay.
Are you a coffee drinker?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You're addicted
he's
to
a
it?
normal human, so he's a
he's
coffee
normal.
I was
drinker.
going to say, yeah.
I knew I would be. The reason why I brought that one because I knew I'd be the Monday.
There's
Yeah, I mean,
only
honestly,
one other.
that's the only reason
There's
why.
only one other person on this planet
Yeah.
that I know that hates coffee.
Yeah.
And it's my father-in-law, and he swears that it's Satan's brew.
Yeah.
And he says that when you go to Starbucks, it's like going to hell.
I will say,
I
well, that's
kind of
not
agree
true
with him.
because my father-in-law,
Yeah.
who also happens to work here,
Yeah.
also hates coffee.
Yeah.
It's a generational
What?
We have tried
Yeah.
multiple times to get him to
You
like
know why?
Yeah.
Do you know why I think it's a generational thing? Because they all had Folgers.
Yeah.
Like growing
No,
up.
that is
I don't
that
like
is an
Folgers either.
astute observation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
what episode of The Office is that?
I don't know.
That is an astute.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want me to do some more?
Yeah, I have no response.
I know.
I,
You
mean,
want me
my
to do more?
response was simply going to be Proverbs 26. You can't answer foolish questions.
Okay.
And then I think,
All right.
honestly,
All
like,
right. Moving on.
we've just, this
was just-
year, literally even just tried to get you to start drinking water. So we won't get
Okay,
started
how about this
on
one?
robotic
How about this
demonic
one?
opinions. Yes. Yes, sir.
I think adults who dress up and are obsessed with Marvel and Harry Potter movies or characters
This feels pointed.
is worse than people who are fans of a college sports team, even if they've never attended that school.
This feels pointed at both of my fellow friends over here.
Wow.
Okay, we didn't say mine.
Yeah.
Marvel and Harry Potter are not my things.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you put any
You like
geek-
Marvel.
I do like Marvel.
any adult thing where you're like comic book / whatever, dress up when you go see the movie, stand in line, own everything. Like I think that is weirder than adults who cheer for a college sports team, even if they've never
It's a
attended
good thing
that.
I've never dressed up like
okay,
a
I'm gonna
Marvel
be
character
honest.
and
It
gone
feels
to
like
the
you
movie.
attacked Zach to attack Jesse, but I feel like I feel like they both should.
Like, yeah, yours got collateral.
How about Star Wars?
Okay,
I'm trying to find one that I thought, I was like, if I list a bunch, I'm going to hit Jesse eventually.
You know what I think is crazy is people that wear black hoodies,
Halo.
and
Yellow
shirts
hats.
on
He
them.
likes Halo too. So,
So,
Star
and
Wars
Halo.
So Patrick
Yeah.
Jesse, that missile that just missed you. What do you say? What's your response?
Listen, I understand where you're coming from. But I think one is a hobby you become passionate about. The
Yeah.
other is
like
like,
sports team.
yeah, but that's not a hobby.
Sure.
What? I don't think that's
Really?
a hobby.
Yeah, that's
You watch all the games, you go to parties, you dress up just like you
You
dress
learn.
up for your things. You know, you wear like a
Do you think
jersey.
he's trying to live
You-
vicariously
you
through
go
someone
to
who's
you
actually
go
living
to
their
the
life?
games.
Or-
Well, here's one of my rationale is this, right? Okay, one is completely make believe, and so I'm talking about adults
But it's
who
like-
are obsessed with make believe fantasy type of role playing movies, games, and characters.
But it's like make believe awesome.
Okay, it's still make believe. The other one isn't. It's real.
G.K.
And you
Chesterton
can
would
support
argue-
a college
Okay.
team
But how many-
that you have family members have gone there. It's
I'm
your
enjoying this.
hometown. You can support that, and it's an actual real thing.
But is it though? Because how many? Okay, how many?
know, it's a-
how many?
It's a sport.
Okay, well,
Is it though? It's a sport.
no. Listen, because how many of those people that are hardcore fans are like, "Oh, if I wouldn't have torn my knee back in '82, that'd be me." You know,
There are plenty of
How
them.
many is
I'm not
that?
one of them,
Okay.
but there
Can
are.
we live in this moment forever?
That's
I'm
also
just
me.
bringing.
if coach would have put me in the fourth
I
quarter,
just wanted to bring a hot take that I thought if you were going to take a shot at people who are sports enthusiasts, even for college teams that happen to be from the same city and state in which they're from, see, they're at least they're cheering for something that is a local, communal type of experience.
I would say, well, communal type of experience. Have you ever been to a Comic-Con?
Okay,
Yes.
that's my point.
No.
though. My point is all
That's
of that is
awesome.
I would
make believe.
argue
Okay.
that the community
At Comic Con,
at a Comic-Con
it's amazing.
comical.
No,
is
No.
better,
no.
more
You've never been.
supportive.
Oh, hold on a
never-
sec. Hold on a
Wait,
sec, Jesse.
both-
You
wait,
gotta
have
you
you
gotta
both been
unpack this because he thinks you're talking about the Japanese pilots.
Okay, let me clarify one. I have never,
You-
dressed,
Kamikazes.
You don't-
Oh, so bad.
I have never dressed up as anything.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Although,
Same.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay,
I call
but what-
where's that? What's that thing where you
Renaissance
Boulder
Fair.
Dash?
Balderdash.
Boulder
I've
Dash.
never been to the
I was gonna
Renaissance
say
Fair.
there's something else people would
I've never
say, and
been-
that goes back to one of your
One
hot
year,
takes, but I wasn't going to say
one
that
year
one.
I dressed
Hey,
up
I'm
as
okay
Harry
with that.
Potter for Halloween.
You what?
One year I did dress up as Harry Potter.
One
for
year?
Halloween.
I was told
That's not
that
1 year.
every Friday when you stay up late at night playing Dungeons and Dragons online with your friends, that you put on the full wizard's hat, the whole thing,
Not
and
true.
get out your staff.
First of all, time out. It's
when you play.
Mondays and not Fridays.
Okay, you're making this way too real.
We're never gonna get through anything, and I love it.
Sorry. We can move on. I have some Christmas ones, but we'll pass.
Okay, do you have any other ones?
I mean, I have plenty, but I want other people to go, and we're taking up all the time. I don't want to. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Oh well, if you have nothing,
You have nothing?
No, I have hot
okay.
takes.
Okay, that's what I
Okay.
mean. Do you have a hot take?
Yeah, okay. I've got two actually. First of all, this is for you.
here we go.
I think avocado toast
Yeah.
is like the most overrated breakfast food in the world.
Yeah, I believe that probably all three of you wonderful humans think that, and I'll let you and No Coffee, No Water McGuire over here just go and start your own club. And
Don't talk about who
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to pay $10
Something to point out.
for a piece of toast smeared with like
I love it.
avocado, like
I will
stuff
tell you
I love how you said
exactly-
smeared.
I'll
too.
tell you exactly why people pay
with like a little bit of salt
even
and
more
stuff
for
on
that,
it, like
for people to take incredible ingredients and use your makeup word to do it.
smeared is not a makeup word. It's not a made up word.
We have avocados. Number one, really good for you. Number
Yeah.
two, it's
Yeah.
on brand right now for a reason because it tastes amazing. There's a lot you can do with it. You take
It's like a weird. It's like a slimy texture mixed with like good
You
bread.
also
Like,
say
what-
that about an entire food group of seafood.
What do you? when have I ever said seafood slimy?
Like anytime it's been brought up.
No, I just said I don't like seafood.
mean,
nothing
There's
is
a reason
slimy.
avocado toast
I do
is
agree.
amazing.
Seafood slimy. Sorry.
I'm back to Proverbs
Food is not going to
26,
work.
talking about food in this
All
circle.
right, give another one because
Okay,
food isn't
okay.
going to work. Because probably the three of
Okay.
us would go. I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here-
always say
th-
that.
if it's
this
not
one-
on the kids menu at TGI
Okay,
Fridays,
this one
we
I
don't
think
like
this
it.
one I think could
Yeah.
be interesting on this group. This one could be
The dumbest episode ever. It's so funny.
this could be the one for this group. I think 90s and I'm gonna expand to say early 2000s, 90s, early 2000s sitcoms and TV shows were better than what is being produced right now.
Totally agree.
As far
That's
as
not a hot
comedy
take.
or just shows in general?
That's just fact in general.
Sitcom. So you're talking about like
Friends.
You want to go back
Friends.
to
The
the
Office.
Friends. Let's. What's the one with Steve Urkel?
Family
Matters.
Matters.
That's
Family Matters.
To my home
80s,
improvement,
90s.
step by step.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince of
Saved by
Bel-Air.
the Bell.
Kings and
Fresh
Queens.
Prince.
Kings and
Prince.
Queens.
Can we say
Uh-oh.
90210
Jesse
or
is
is
not
that,
liking
is
this.
90210 or is that 80? Well, name some current ones that are better.
okay, so
Sitcoms.
The Office, New Girl.
No,
I
that's
was
not
gonna say,
new.
what? How are we? Where's the line of current?
Well, he said early 2000s in The Office.
Let's say the okay.
I would
let's
say
The Office
2000
started in 2004.
yeah. Let's
I was actually
Ish.
about to say 2004 because that's when I entered high school.
let's say any show that
Before.
started or began within the last 10 years, because The
Yeah.
Office didn't end till, well, I guess it was like 2012. It
But,
was
I mean,
almost over 10
but can
years
we all
ago.
agree that the seasons at the end were not very good? Once
Yeah,
Michael left, the season 9 was terrible.
they were
and
still-
Will
season
Ferrell is
9
not.
was still pretty
Yeah,
good.
every season was great.
But I would even expand it not just sitcoms, but I just think shows were better. Like Lost was better than anything that's produced
Yeah.
now. Like
Okay, you're trying to throw Lost in my face because you know that
Okay.
I love Lost, but
you disagree?
Lost was in the last 10 years, was it?
the
You think shows are better now?
You
than what
said
they were?
sitcoms.
I
so
did
we
say
just saying
sitcoms.
with comedy genres. So
I
you're
did
going to be
say
saying what
sitcoms.
New Girl is newer, right?
Yeah.
What else?
The-
Ted Lasso.
Big Bang, right? Is
Ted
what it's called?
Lasso. Ted Lasso.
Does that count?
don't know.
I guess I'm thinking back
How I
then
Met
you only
Your
had
Mother?
national TV.
How I
And
Met
now
Your
you've
Mother?
got
How Much Mother's probably in
cable.
between.
Big Bang Theory is probably newer.
I think here's the
I don't think any of those shows aged very well.
That's what I'm saying. Friends, incredible.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Friends aged very well.
What are you
We
talking about?
It's still streamed.
It's like one of the most
It does. It
popular-
absolutely does. But I think it's most people that are a little older or watch it because it's cool.
My daughter watches Friend, my youngest, pretty consistently, and both my daughters. They're younger than you.
Of all of them, they probably
They do.
Friends probably aged the best.
Yeah.
But like I don't
Compared to
think
like
that-
Seinfeld.
Yeah,
or like
oh, those shows are nails on a chalkboard to watch now.
you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I
You know what?
always hated
Can I tell
Seinfeld.
you what I really do? Just a side note, what I really appreciate about sitcoms from the 90s, early 2000s, is how politically incorrect they are today. And so
very
even like
true.
The Office, you
Would
watch
be
some episodes, you go, that would have never survived today.
Like
Oh,
Boy,
you know,
Boy
you know
Meets
what's
World.
funny?
Boy Meets World was awesome. What are you talking about? Boy Meets
Oh,
World.
that's
Never-
true. Boy Meets
never
World's
liked it.
classic. There's some
So
classics back in the
good.
day.
Yeah.
No, is what's funny. I was listening, or no, I watched on YouTube. I just wanted to watch again the Diversity Day, like 5 minutes from it. And was it Diversity Day or Sensitivity Training? One of the two. So I watched it, and I was texting with our friend. Well, I probably actually shouldn't say who it is because of this next part. But I was texting him, and he said, "Yeah, we had Diversity Day or some sort of training that sounded like Diversity Day." And I was like, "Oh, like The Office." And I sent him the YouTube clip I just watched, and he goes, "Yes, somebody literally came in last year and showed that to be funny before the training
no.
and got fired."
That's what would
And
happen.
I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That literally is evidence. It would not
Yeah, I
do well
know.
today." I'm torn on this
Yeah.
because there are some classics back in the day. I think
Full House.
Full House was so good.
what's different now is so much more
It's good.
money and talent is leveraged towards streaming services than even movies now, and so I think there is
Yeah,
more to
that's-
choose from now.
agree.
That's a deeper topic.
I agree.
But
well, and I think
streaming is
and I
killing
think
everything.
most sitcoms back then, I think the way culture has moved in regards to humor and other things, most sitcoms back then were, I would say, wholesome because they had to be shown on national TV and family friendly. And I think most of the stuff that is popular today does not fit in that kind of like, oh, you know, you could watch it when you were 9 years old,
When
and
was
10 years old, like Full House and those kind of shows. Like most of the current sitcoms that we would all mention and go, that one is awesome. they kind of feel like a different genre today.
Growing Pains,
Well,
Wonder
yeah, Growing
Years.
Pains. Yeah,
but
Wonder
like,
Years.
but think about it.
It's just
Like,
nostalgia.
okay, think about it. Every sitcom now almost is a remake of previous ones. Like Netflix redid or remade or told the story of Full House like later on. There's a How I Met Your Father right now, like playing off like there's like
Ted Lasso's original.
Young Sheldon like playing off big like almost everything's a remake now anyway. So it's like they're going back to the original era of sitcoms, the golden era of sitcoms. in
You
the
think
90s.
New Girl was a remake of Friends?
Potentially.
It does have a lot of a Friends vibe to it for sure. Bunch of friends living together.
Jesse, what are you thinking? You do not seem pleased.
No, I think things are better now.
Well,
All right.
all right. Those are my two.
I think
Well,
I
I
probably
heard once.
agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
But it's hard because there's new sitcoms and definitely more money in them.
All
All right.
right.
Do you have any?
Oh, well, I've got some Christmas ones.
I got some Christmas.
I got some Christmas ones, too.
Share all the ones you got.
Okay. I just got Christmas. So my first one, Christmas Vacation. Terrible.
Okay.
Wait, the
Okay.
movie?
The movie
Okay. Okay.
My
That
father would
Totally
be.
disagree.
is horrible.
You serious, Clark?
I watched it once several years ago
Whoa.
You serious, Clark?
and thought it was the stupidest movie I've ever watched.
Wow.
I feel
And
like
then-
That means Elf just moved up.
I feel like I
Just
could
your
quote that entire movie. Just about.
Well, I'm sure. I just don't think it aged well. Probably like if I'd watched it as a kid, I'd probably like it.
Yeah.
my.
But like to watch it as an adult for the first time is like, this is the stupidest thing in the world. But then my wife and I just watched it a few weeks ago because she had never seen it, and I'm like, I'll give it another shot. I'm like, no, I was.
Something had to come through the window. Something had to put water on the floor. I don't know, Margot. It's so funny.
That's not funny.
Wait, what's the one part? Oh, if you're listening,
Oh, yeah.
when
that was-
Zach gets to snorting, you know that he
it's-
is gone.
he's-
What about? There is
He puts
a
the
funny
dog food on
part.
and breaks a lot.
I think my
Oh.
movie, my
Clark.
like equivalent of
No, Cousin Eddie.
Christmas Vacation was A Christmas Story.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
I grew up-
see, this is where I'm gonna
That
punch
did not
both
age
of
well.
you in the face.
That did not age well.
That is my other hot take. That's my favorite Christmas movie.
That's like
I feel like it's been getting hate recently.
it's
Yeah.
like top 5 or 6.
It's awful.
You know what? I'm
Oh.
with you on that. That's one of the best.
You just
switch
said
positions so
it was
easily.
not good.
No, I meant my equivalent as in like that's what.
Oh, you like it?
Oh, for
whereas y'all
you.
grew up and it's so nostalgic.
Christmas stories.
Yeah.
That was
Yes,
for you.
I've seen Christmas Story, but here and there.
Yeah.
The one that I don't know if it came out about the same time, but the one that I grew up seeing on repeat on TV as I was growing up was A Christmas Story,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so I really liked that one.
Love that.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Love that one. I had, I think I still have somewhere, a little ornament that was the leg lamp.
Oh,
That's a good one.
They have a leg lamp at Roast right now,
It's
Classic.
a, it's a major award.
Such a good one.
and at the Pearl.
Such a good
All
one.
right, what else you got?
Do you have any other Christmas ones?
I got two more quick ones. One, Elf on the Shelf. Terrible idea.
Agreed.
It is
I'm
creepy.
not-
It was pretty
like-
tough. I'm not gonna lie. It's fine for the first
Did
week.
you do it?
Oh yeah, we did it for a couple years, but
Ugh.
man, I tell you, after 20 days of doing it, you're just like,
Hold on.
oh gosh,
Hold on. What was your elf's name? Every elf has to have a name.
I don't know.
You
It probably did have a name. I just don't remember.
Okay.
I'm serious. It did have
I
a.
was
It had a
hoping-
name. I just
Yeah.
don't remember.
I was hoping
but it
it
was.
was gonna be a
And we
little
only
more
did that
epic
with
than that.
Audrey because it was after Lauren's time, really. And it just, man, I remember it was like 11 o'clock, and I was so tired, ready to go. Oh, we didn't move the dumb elf. Now what are we gonna do? Come up with something funny and creative.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. Sounds terrible. And then my last one, White Elephant is not fun.
I agree.
White Elephant's not
I
fun.
agree.
Overrated.
I agree.
White Elephant gift exchange.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Not fun.
What do you like better then? Like for a Christmas party. Hey, come on, we're gonna have a Christmas party. Just hang out and eat food.
Yeah.
Maybe watch Elf or Christmas Vacation, or like, what are you thinking?
Do you like Secret
Definitely
Santa?
not either of those.
Okay.
What about Secret Santa?
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
Secret Santa is better than White Elephant.
Okay.
Agreed.
But also,
Does
I
it,
would-
can we just take a little hot takes poll real quick? Mm-hmm. How many of you? I feel really bad saying this because we're in the middle of doing one. Okay, I won't say it.
Oh, you can't do that.
I'm not going to. I don't want to offend anybody.
Okay.
So never mind. Poll withdrawn.
You will never know what that poll was going to be.
All right.
Do you have any?
I have a Christmas one. If you could do though, go with some hot takes.
I mean, yeah, I feel like mine are just kind of lame, to be honest. They're just a couple of Christmas hot takes. No one will agree with me on this, but punk rock Christmas music is the best Christmas music.
Reliant K Christmas album was really good.
I have an entire Christmas playlist I play every December that is almost completely punk rock, and a lot of it's really depressing and awesome.
Okay, that is just totally odd.
A Christmas Carol is the most powerful Christmas movie.
Agreed.
Family Man with Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan is the most underrated Christmas movie.
Never
You
heard
seen
of
that?
Family Man.
It's called The Family Man.
And wait, you're saying it's a Christmas movie?
Yes, it's
I don't know.
very Christmassy. So it's almost like a modern day version, sort of the Christmas Carol. Nicolas Cage is this,
maybe I did
big
see that.
time lawyer.
Yeah, maybe I did see
He has
that.
a chance to start a family with this girl, but he moves to New York City to just focus on money, and then he gets robbed, and this kind of guy that ends up being an angel gives him a second chance, and he wakes up to this life where he would have said yes to this family. And so, anyways,
sounds like a great Christmas movie.
It
sounds
is
like
great.
a Hallmark Christmas movie.
it's Hallmark but good.
okay.
It's Hallmarkish but good. And then this is not Christmas, but I think Marvel and Disney movies are overrated.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
again, I'm
disagree.
going to use your own words against you in Proverbs 26:u, and not answer any
Those
foolish.
are not my words; those are God's words.
No,
How dare
those
you
are-
twist them?
Okay. Okay.
What say you? Do you
About,
agree?
about what? That they are what?
Overrated. Marvel and Disney movies.
First of all, there's so many Disney movies that you.
He says, I won't engage. He goes, first of all.
And if
There's
you were
so
watching,
many- there's-
Pastor Zach just started twitching.
First of 8 points.
There's
Number one.
there's so many Disney movies I don't even realize are Disney
I
movies.
would actually, in my mind, I feel like you should have to separate Marvel and Disney. I feel like those are two completely different
Agreed.
genres.
They
They're
are.
not even close. So I don't know that you can push those together.
Well, I wasn't saying that they're related. I was just saying they're both overrated.
They're both overrated. I think Marvel movies are overrated. I apologize. I think some Disney ones, but I think there's just some epic classic Disney movies that are just great. So, but I think if you ask me of those two, I'm going to say Marvel is pretty,
Zach is dying inside.
Marvel is very way overrated.
Oh my
just
gosh.
completely.
Oh my gosh. The point in Avengers Endgame whenever
I fell
Sam
asleep
says
2
on
hours
your
in."
6 and he comes out and they all come back
Yeah.
and they look and they say, "Did you get them all?" "Yep, we got them all."
Yeah.
And then
Are you rooting for
and then
people?
Steve
Yeah.
America or Captain America, Steve America
Even America.
pulls the hammer and he says Avengers assemble and then they charge and the
See,
music is playing.
And you think it's
And
weird to cheer
honestly,
for the Buckeyes.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, what he
Okay,
is
that's-
describing is one of the top 5 greatest moments
Of all
cinema ever.
of all time.
Later on tonight, Zach is going to be facing a wall, staring at it and punching it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Now, I will say this. Marvel's better than DC.
They're the same to me. I don't know which is which. It does not matter. I'm sorry. I will talk of did you guys say that movie? You know that Marvel movie? It's DC. I had no idea. I apologize. I didn't know there was a difference. Well, these people are from Marvel and these people are from DC, but all the movies exactly the same. I know,
They're
but
not-
Captain
they're
America
not even
is Marvel.
Sort of the same.
But Captain America is Marvel.
Cretins.
It's like what is going on here?
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to go back to cheering for a sports team.
No.
It's way simpler.
Oh, I love my life. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I
What's your
don't-
Christmas
I,
one?
I kind of don't want to say it now.
No,
No,
please,
you
you
gotta
have to
say
say
it.
it.
I feel like it's a little more of a serious one, and I feel like it could get me in some trouble.
Well, we're
We can do serious ones.
this is
'cause
heavy
we
hot
do-
takes.
Okay,
so
we do have some serious ones.
Heavy Christmas hot takes.
these are heavy hot
Just
takes.
heavy hot takes.
Somewhat Christmas. We don't know.
I think that Christians who get bent out of shape because people don't have any problem with their really young kids believing in Santa are a little over the top to me.
Wait, rephrase that.
I'm trying to figure out a way to say it so that I'm just really nicely, I don't know. Christians, so this is kind of more of a take where there's Christians who get really up in arms about the fact of other Christians engaging in Santa play with their kids.
Can we not say Santa play? Because I feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
And the
Letting their kids
in
believe
the
in
Santa
Santa.
narrative. In the Santa narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit over the top.
I agree.
I think people are like, they usually the same. The argument.
We just need to turn his mic off.
Yeah.
for about
What are
5
you doing?
minutes.
Here's my thing. I think people get a little bit too uptight
Yes.
about the idea of it's okay to let your kids maybe believe in Santa or do something if you want to do that to a certain age. Like, I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that's as big a deal as it is to some Christians. Some
So-
Christians, if you meet, you're like, well, if you're going to lie to
Yeah, I
them
was gonna say, yeah,
about
you okay with
Santa,
lying?
why would they believe you about Jesus? And it's like, okay, there's a difference between just in this one season and maybe like one gift is from Santa and they're
Yep.
3 years old and believing and kind of they watch all of the same movies that we just talked about and there's almost like this magic of Christmas that they experience. It doesn't mean that you're not telling them, here's the actual Christmas story. Here's this. And there's a difference between what happens at a young age in a short season around these movies and traditions than the fact that 365 days a year, all the rest of the year, that we are talking to our kids about Jesus. They see our faith. They know we believe it's real. And when it reaches a certain age, both my kids, when they reached, I think Lauren knew by the time she was probably 7. She was like, Dad, tell me, is Santa real? Because I said, do you think Santa's real? No. I said, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
So I didn't ruin it for them. And we didn't play it up big. Now, another hot take. I think parents that make every one of their presents to their kids from Santa are stupid. You want to talk about a hot take?
Tell us how you really feel.
Well,
by the way,
only because why in the world would I give
Yeah.
that fat old jolly man from the North Point all the credit?
North Pole.
North Pole. What did I say?
North Point.
Andy
North Point.
Sandler's church. So I think
Okay. Why would I give him credit? That's just purely that. Like, I'm not giving him credit for all the
By
presents
the
on
way,
the tree.
I don't think
But
that
like
you're
one.
alone on your first hot take. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of people post about this lately. Like, was it Jay Pokluda or whatever? He did a post the other day, and he was like, and he's pretty strict, like down the line on things. But he said, I tell my kids that I help them feel the magic of Christmas.
Yeah.
And if they ask about Santa at a really young age, I just tell them, hey, yeah, Santa's a real person.
Saint
There's
Nicholas.
more to the story, and I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
And
And the moment they ask me, and they're kind of at an age with Dad or this, I'm not lying to them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep it going. Oh, they're 13. I just don't want them to hear anything. Don't say anything. Like, I'm not
Zach,
doing
when
that.
you were 15 and you asked your mom,
Oh,
What did she
Okay.
say? Your
About-
principal. What did she say?
Okay.
How old were you?
I
when
really
you-
actually don't remember the point when I stopped believing in Santa.
Whoa! I'm sorry.
were you freshman or sophomore?
I
So
still,
do you currently?
I still believe in the magic of Santa Claus. Is what I'm trying to say. So
Okay.
Keeping him alive.
Do your kids?
Yes,
Do
we
they
do.
all think?
Yep.
Do they? How many presents they get? Are they all from
Only
Santa?
one. Only one.
That's what we always did. One.
Only one.
Okay.
I told
what
Lily
age
the
is
other
it,
night
like-
that
The what?
I told Lily what was it the other night we were all decorating here, and Lily was like, "My other tooth fell out," and I was like, "Was it?" I was like, "Which tooth?" And she's like, "It's my second tooth." I was like, "Oh, that's good news. When your second tooth falls out, the tooth fairy brings you $50 and puts it on your pillow."
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Zach's like, "That's not true."
Not true. We're gonna ask. Oh, I think Charlie is very close to figuring it out.
Yeah.
She's starting to like. Is that real? Like what? Like so. I think we got about maybe 1 year left of Charlie. She's 7 years old. So
Are you sad about that?
a little bit.
My mom cried.
I'm not gonna cry, but I'm a little
Really?
bit sad.
Yes.
Well, it's different. So when Lauren was old enough, then Audrey would go to bed, and she'd be when we're doing it. Okay, we better set out a plate of cookies and milk. Can I have some of the cookies? Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let
Oh,
her
that's
eat
cool.
some of it, and so she enjoyed what
Yeah.
little bit.
She got in on the deception.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Do your boys?
We don't do Santa.
Yeah, Santa's not real.
Santa's not real.
Fairy tooth isn't real either. No
Wait,
fairy tooth.
really? Really?
No
You don't
Eas-
do Santa?
Fairy
No
tooth?
Easter bunny.
For what he described?
Is it because of that? Does it violate your faith?
Yes and no. So my wife's very passionate. If she was sitting here, she would strongly disagree with you.
That's a
But yeah, I don't have a strong opinion either way
Yeah.
on it. and so she doesn't want to do Santa, so we don't.
You just make peace. You don't care.
So yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, but we have coached Milo, who's in kindergarten, has lots of friends that think Santa's real. It's like if some kids think Santa's real, and you just let them think it. Like,
That's right.
So now you're just teaching your kids to lie to other kids, but you don't want to lie to them. I mean, I understand that.
Right? Yeah, he's got
fair.
to be on the inside.
That's fair.
You know?
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You do like to be on the inside.
Let
Oh,
him
no.
keep all the conspiracy
Um,
theorists and
Yeah, exactly.
But she also, I would imagine this. My hot take wasn't. I don't care if somebody's that. My hot take was some people are super vocal,
Yes.
and they're like over the top. Like I can't believe that you would do that as a Christian.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm like people like that. I think you need to take a chill pill.
She might be borderline.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Sarah, are you listening?
We're gonna edit this hot take back out, and let's pick back up where you were right
Yeah.
before we went to this one and go.
She's not over the top. I
Oh.
just said that because I knew to rile her up. But
Okay.
Do you have any other?
No, I'm not saying
spicy
another
ones?
word. That was
Come
enough.
on.
Nope. That was enough.
Okay.
I'll get in trouble.
I do have a spicy one.
Okay.
Or at least a heavier one. First of all, we all know my Christmas one, and it is true, and you and I agree on it. Elf is not a top 5 Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You and I had this
Totally
debate
disagree.
for
Yep.
Totally
years
disagree.
and years and years. So we're not going
it's
to rehash
definitely one of
it.
the funniest Christmas
It's
movies of all
definitely
time.
It's
a
not a
top
top 5 Christmas film
100%.
of all time.
What happens
So,
when your humor got distorted?
100% top 5.
It's not. Okay, so here's my like serious one. Let me pull it up here. Okay, so sustainable fashion is a luxury, not always a choice.
I have a lot of thoughts on this.
It's a luxury. So you are
I'm
kind of making the argument that there are a lot of people
I'm
that
s-
cannot afford sustainable clothing.
That's not produced in
It's sure.
sweatshops
Some-
or different things like that. It's unaffordable to them,
Okay.
and so they have to choose to buy clothing or things that come from maybe less
You're
than ethical
kind
places.
of stating a fact.
That's exactly right. This is
So-
yes. Because
Is there an opinion you have behind this?
no, I think that is a hot
that it?
take. What I was gonna say is I think because this is like the one you did tell me in the car that you were gonna throw out, and I told you I said I feel torn on it because I'm not Mr. Fashion, but I have an appreciation for fashion.
Of the people at this table, you're probably the most fashion.
No,
Oriented.
I'd say Jesse is the most fashion.
no.
Well, you made a look when he. What do you think?
No, I suppose I'm waiting for the part we can disagree with.
So okay, I'll tell you. Here's where my thought. Here's where my thought goes. Number one, I actually think the reason I appreciate this hot take is because there is a truth and an assumption hidden inside your statement that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, which is the way that economics work when it comes to fashion. Because I think there's a lot of hypocrisy, especially in the Christian world, of people who find it fashionable, and I love the End It movement passion, but find it fashionable to join the End It movement, see movies about ending human slavery, say, oh, I hate that, and then without even thinking about where they're spending their money,
Right.
only buy what's considered fast fashion, cheap fashion,
Yeah.
which 99% of the time, follow the trail, is made in a sweatshop in Pakistan or China or India. But then turn around and judge people who want to spend their discretionary money on luxury goods or high fashion or even create high fashion and don't understand that most of the time people that create high fashion are actually drawing money from the rich, not the poor, and are actually taking that money and paying an equitable wage to people that live locally so that they can actually be paid well. And people don't realize that if you have the discretionary funds to invest in fashion that is made locally, you're actually ensuring that you're not exploiting the poor, that you're not advancing human trafficking, that you're not, but I do also understand the point that you're making, which is to do that, you have to spend more money on fashion, and not everybody has
Yeah.
that money. I do think it's also like a point of where you choose to spend your money. Not with everybody, but with a lot of people. There's some
Yeah.
people that are like, I can't afford. There's a stat that the great majority of the world spends 65% of their money on food, and part of that is poverty. The other part of that is Americans have gotten so used to processed quasi foods that aren't really foods that we spend cheap amounts of money for, that if something's a whole food, like something that's at Whole Foods, we balk at the prices and we have sticker shock.
Yeah.
When the truth is, it's like, no, that's actually how much real food would cost in a market like ours. And so I think there's a weird parallel when it comes to fashion too. It's like we're so used to fast fashion that's been cheaply made that the idea of paying what really would be a normative amount of money for something seems insane.
I guess
That's my one
my
little-
question I have about, let's say, as you're calling it, fast fashion, and you just throwing it out there. I would love, do we know what real actual percentage of that, is it really that high, comes from exploitative type of factories?
Almost always, yeah. Like if you listen, because...
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know the stat, but it's almost always because to think about like for a T-shirt to cost $10-$20,
Yeah.
for there to be a profit margin.
Yeah.
Number one, it has to be mass produced. So
Yeah.
Understand that unless you're like wanting to invest in a corporation like Target or Walmart, nothing wrong with that. Their socks are awesome. There's great things at Target, Walmart. Nothing against it. Not hating on it, but it's mass produced to millions, and so that's one of the reasons they're able to have that kind of profit margin for such a low price. The other reason is because of the production value. Like for you to sell something for that cheap means the labor had to have been proportionally cheap.
Is it? I agree that's typically been it. But when I think about the era we're in, which technology is quickly being able to do things at a way better price, a way, more affordable thing, like technology that can maybe produce, 50 shirts in the time that they're going to exploit and pay some, little kid, a day to, do that. Like it almost makes you wonder if you can get less expensive goods because of the benefits of technology, and does that put people that work in factories out? And, again, we look at it and go, it exploits people in factories. And I'm not saying that it doesn't, but some of them in their environment, that might be the only way they can make any income.
It is a complicated.
That's
yeah.
what's complicated about it.
It is a complicated conversation too, because in some of these countries, in some of these third world countries, there are sweatshops that are absolutely abusing and exploiting kids. There's other places where comparatively they're making progress to pay what to us would seem asinine. Like to them, $3 a week is progress. And so there is a lot of tricky conversation with it. Sorry, this would be a whole other conversation to hijack our podcast.
No, that's fine.
No,
but I find your hot take really interesting because I think there's an assumption hidden in it that a lot of people aren't even aware of that exposes Christian hypocrisy around clothing.
All right. Do we want to do any more hot takes or wrap this up or what?
Do you have any spicy
Do you have any
ones?
more hot takes?
I don't have any spices.
Do you have any? I don't have any spicy ones. I mean, I still have a couple of hot takes, but
I
I
have a
don't know if we
political
want to
one.
do anything else or we just want to do
What's your
hot takes
political?
only.
What's your
on this.
political one?
I have a political one,
What is it?
but I don't think it's not politically polarized. It's not a political issue.
Okay.
I think politicians in D.C. should have to live in D.C. again, and should actually have to work and eat in the same place. I think historically we see that when politicians became transit, or when they became, what's the word? Maybe transit's it. Like where they, there was a shift where politicians used to all live in D.C. and because they actually shared their lives together, like there was
They had to
way
go out to
less.
eat. They
They had to like eat together.
Yeah.
So they didn't see each other as the enemy. Like it used to be normative for people of different parties to eat together, do life together, share life together. And we can see the direct effect of when that shifted, because you can easily become an enemy of someone that's not a human being that you don't see on a normal basis anymore. And when they stop living together in the same city, they stop eating together, the polarization and the hatred and the echo chambers just, went through the roof. And so I actually think, like, if you're going to be in D.C. and work in that community, you should have to live there. And I don't know how you would enforce this. I think they should have to eat. I think there should be like mandatory retreats. Where they literally,
Mandatory retreats.
honestly, where they literally have to go away.
Well,
and it sounds funny, but I actually wonder how much healing and change and growth could happen if that were to take place.
If I were to add another one to the political one, I think that if the politicians cannot get a balanced budget where they're always threatening to close down the government, I think they shouldn't get paid as well.
Yes, because they always get paid in that process.
You're not getting paid You don't get the budget stuff figured out. You don't do that. You're not getting paid either. I just think there's when they don't have any skin in the game. Doesn't matter if we one side wants to shut down the government, one side wants to do this. No, you're not getting paid, and you also don't get to take leave. I mean, everybody in all the government positions all over the country and all the people working for it are literally waiting for you guys to figure out whether or not you're going to reach a balanced budget so they can keep doing their job. You don't stop until you figure it out. You don't get paid if they don't get paid, and you don't leave and go home. I mean, there's been times where it's like, yep, we can't figure it out. Oh, it's Christmas break. We'll be back in a month and a half, just before the deadline. Like, no. You should be in the same boat as everybody else as a federal employee.
Interesting.
I have a last hot take.
Okay.
To wrap up our time. I don't even know if I believe this one.
Wow.
But I did come up with it on my own. The government should regulate sugar consumption or how much is available to combat obesity levels in America.
Somebody got in trouble.
Oh, I'm going to say I disagree. Go ahead, you guys.
That's a pretty high federal regulation.
Yep.
Who was it? Was it the Obama administration that got railed over? They were trying to like remove cookies from school lunches or whatever, and
Cokes, Michelle Obama, Cokes, and all that kind of stuff.
What say you, Libertarian Larry?
You like calling me that. Yeah, I probably would not be in favor. Maybe like an addendum to your hot take. I think I probably would go for more like a stricter guideline on what can and can't be in food.
So
Not
like,
sugar, but just
so
like
FDA.
Like, let's start eating real food, not processed garbage again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be more in favor of that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think the government should be regulating your
Sugar
intake of anything. First of all, it won't work. The government can try all they want. I mean, they've tried to regulate everything that's been illegal.
We got 16 minutes max. Do we want to hit this topic we thought about hitting?
Nah, we'll just do it another time.
Okay.
I think we should just stay on the hot takes.
It's just been a hot take.
It's been a hot take kind of day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it'd ever work ever. So I think it'd be futile. I think you'd be spending all kinds of money to do all kinds of things to somehow outlaw, to figure out different levels. We can't do it with alcohol.
I don't disagree. Like I said, I don't even know if I agree with it, but I think something should be done to combat this issue.
Right.
I'm talking about food in general.
Yeah. There probably should be federally sponsored campaigns to try to promote or to help educate. You know what I mean?
The public about
just
food awareness.
Well, we've celebrated and promoted fast food in America for 50 years, 60 years, and it's become the norm. Like, it's normal. Just go eat at McDonald's.
So you're saying government regulation isn't the answer, but the government should be
No, you
sponsoring
said they should
campaigns.
do something, and I'm just saying, if anything, part of a Surgeon General type of function or whatever is to maybe help educate people on understanding what is the impact of eating all these processed foods and all these sugars versus them finding out.
That's fine. I think at this table we all agree that there is an issue. I'm putting forth that there needs to be something.
I will say, to your point, it is an interesting duplicity, because I am not an anti-vaxxer, but one of the things I agree with anti-vaxxers on, some of them during the years of 2020 and 2021, is the government did not mind emphasizing and suggesting and encouraging and educating how people needed to get vaccinated for their health, but completely seemed to ignore and not advocate at all how much obesity and health and dietary related issues directly affected how you would be impacted by COVID. I mean, we knew that predominantly dietary, lifestyle related issues are what would most affect you, along with comorbidities when it came to COVID. But there was almost no education, no advocating for that, no mention of it. The entire campaign was just quarantine and vaccinate. But there was very little, but hey, you also need to be exercising and eating healthy and
I think you bring up a good point. When the government has gotten involved
yes,
and tried to force a regulation, it's turned into what happened with the vaccine.
Yes.
And so I don't think the government should regulate that in our free market type of environment. But if we're going to have the government do anything, and I think there could be some benefit, and I might have a whole nother hot take some point on insurance, because I think that there's something with that too. But that I'll say for another time, because I have a couple thoughts on insurance, medical insurance, and other things that I think would be a great conversation. But I do think that the government could, when you look at the number of people who are on Medicare, Medicaid, the number of people who are on either government-subsidized health care, and if you could push this somehow, again, I don't know that you should or you could, even to the private level, I think a better way to do it is to create incentives for people to be healthy.
Yes.
I
agree with
would
that.
be in agreement of that versus you're not allowed, and
Yeah.
we're going to enforce it.
I agree
That
with that.
becomes a totally it just becomes more of like this totalitarian like type of government overstep.
Okay, speaking of which, I'm going to ask this question just because I know you're not going to answer it. Speaking of totalitarian dictatorial, there was an interview a few nights ago with Sean Hannity and Donald Trump, where Sean Hannity asked him to put to bed all of these claims that he would be dictatorial, where he just step in power. And he said, "Is that true?" And he said, "Only on day one." And he said, "Repeat what you said." He said, "Only on day one would I be a dictator." What's your reaction?
I did not see it.
Okay.
I imagine you did.
I did see it.
What's your reaction?
Seems in line with.
I'm just trying to make y'all nervous. Anyways,
I think Jesse had something to say about that.
Jesse, what?
Oh yeah, that wasn't the first time I heard that. It was just now.
Oh,
It was.
what?
That was the first time.
That's the first time I ever heard that.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
hear that either.
Don't write us an email. I was just
Okay.
trying to make these three nervous. Okay. Any other closing thoughts or hot takes before we? Zach can't believe I said that.
I mean, I've got like two other funny ones that
Yeah,
I could
let's go.
just do.
Let's go.
I think that people that need to have noisemakers or the TV on to go to sleep are weird.
Well,
And that's probably all of you,
Yeah.
because I keep running
No.
into more and more people that are like, yeah, I can't sleep unless there's a noise machine.
No.
Okay, but not all of us have a
one.
button we can push in our shoulders to make us
don't.
to make us turn
Yeah,
off.
power down.
Wait, hold on.
It's always weird, and I've gone like, whether it's like conferences or stuff, and you're staying with people, and they're like, hey, I hope you don't mind. It's like phone. I'm just laying there going, dear Lord, I'm trying to sleep. All I can hear is. I'm like, okay. Wow, what happened?
I want to say,
I-
Zach, do you want to play what you wake up to? Because I've never had high blood pressure, but it would start if I had what you wake up to.
Wait, real
It's like
quick.
a
Okay,
bomb
as you're
alert.
pulling that up, do you guys all have noisemakers, noise machines, something in your room?
No.
I fall asleep with the TV on,
Same.
Okay.
and then if I wake
No,
up,
I will-
if I wake up in the middle of the night though,
You'll.
I will put a show on my phone, put an AirPod in to go back to sleep.
Are you serious?
Otherwise-
Okay.
otherwise
sometimes
I will not fall
say I don't intentionally. Most of the time when we're ready to go to bed, like I'm tired, turn off the TV, roll over to bed. Sometimes I fall asleep with the TV on, and it bothers me. I'll wake up. You know how you wake up 2 in the morning, it's blasting,
Yeah.
it's on. You're like, oh, where's the remote? Turn it off, and then go back to bed.
Yeah.
You're actually like
That's
crank
me.
it up, put on a new
Well, I
TV
don't
show.
crank it, but no, I will put it on like the sleep timer, like
Yeah.
hey, go to turn off in an hour.
Okay.
but every single night,
Every night.
every night.
Nope.
What about you?
Oh, same. I fall asleep.
You have your AirPod in every night.
No, but that's probably because of Sarah, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I
You
have.
listen to the Santa Chronicles while she's. Sorry, go ahead.
But basically, I'll have a computer near me, and I will have it on the lowest possible light, watching it as I fall asleep. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll turn the light off, but have it either keep going or have a podcast or show playing on my phone.
Okay. You need something.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you. Yeah, usually what it is I'll turn on like a complete rundown of the entire Halo canon.
Oh, wow.
in my phone. Here's why Halo 2 is the
speaking-
greatest video game of
And
all
definitely
time.
people
Speaking of-
who have like sports teams are weird. I get it.
Speaking of Halo, the place we were earlier today, they had like a Halo Raven
everybody just turned it off.
series So
It's called Fire Team Raven.
Fire Team Raven.
Yeah.
I don't know the Fire Team Raven story. What is that?
Okay, hey, no,
What does it do?
everybody
That's
just
a storyline exclusive to that arcade box.
everybody
actually.
just
Oh, really?
everybody just turned us off, guys.
Oh.
No, hold on. Let's say that for another time.
It's
they
actually
really?
a side story
Yeah,
that
they just
happens
they
during
just cut our
Halo
episode.
CE
Oh, they didn't want to hear about Halo.
when the Pillar of Autumn
Yes.
is attacked by the
Man.
Covenant
Yeah.
when they find the first Halo ring.
Over my
Yeah.
head.
Okay.
Dude, I feel like whenever the Covenant first discover Earth, and the whole. First of all, I mean,
Like I.
Oh, this.
Never mind. This,
is
is
what
what
you
I need to
need.
go to
Just for the
bed.
record.
You guys come into
No,
my room and
just for
start
the
talking
record.
about Halo.
You know
Every
what?
time you guys
The
start
Spartan
talking about,
Project is
Baker
incredible.
Mayfield and all this is how I feel. I'm like, yeah, this is real exciting
I will say,
stuff we're talking about.
I will say,
He threw for 37 yards. I was like, can you believe that?
I will say, of the 4 people at this table, I am the only one who walks both in the Halo world, but also the sports
Is
world.
that a brag?
Yes, it is. It is not on my break. Okay, this is what I wake up to.
I won't do any more. We're done.
All right, hold on.
Because I had more. But
If
we're not
you
done
have survived this episode,
That's not that bad.
okay, that's not what it used to be. You've changed
No,
it.
that's
That sounds like you.
no,
Twinkles. No, it used to be a bomb alert.
That
Yeah.
one? Oh,
I've
that's
had
the
that
most
one before.
obnoxious
I've had
alarm.
that one before.
That's the most obnoxious alarm there is. Anyways, we can stop with all the hot takes. We'll come back again sometime. We'll collect some more.
I have a question.
Last
In
one.
our final 6 minutes, what's the last dream you remember?
The last dream I remember. It's a weird one.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. What happened?
Okay.
Was I in it?
No, you weren't. But Lydia was.
Yeah?
believe it or
Lydia?
not.
Okay.
Lydia, another of my friends, and then one of our high schoolers.
Okay.
We opened up a second-hand furniture store in a strip mall. And the roof was leaking. There was like a drop ceiling and ceiling tiles were falling out. And it was real ratty.
Love
I
this.
was the manager and they were my employees.
That makes I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah. Well, I had fever last week, so it was a fever dream for sure.
That's why. What about you? Last dream you remember?
No, I can't say it.
Whoa.
No, it's not that kind of dream. I
Whoa.
just it's probably the longest recurring dream that I have is it's
That's a good thing we're recording
this,
this. Go ahead. I want to hear this.
Oh, here we
I've
go.
never wanted to hear
It's-
anything more.
it's
Yeah.
Reoccurring.
it's me and LeBron James.
Oh my God. All right.
We're playing basketball together, and he's teaching me how to
Is
dunk
this
a
real?
basketball. No,
This is not real.
You have this dream over and over.
I've had this dream.
Is this why you always randomly post stories that anything LeBron James
Yes.
related?
Because he
Well,
secretly
no, 'cause it's the
is
goat. He's the goat.
dreaming
He is
that
the
he
goat.
would teach him how to dunk.
I've always wanted to be able.
I got to be honest with you. I'd probably pay to see that. Dream come to life.
And then I know once you power down, you
Yeah,
probably
I don't have one.
Yeah, yeah.
I literally cannot remember the last dream I had.
Really?
I'm terrible. I
I've
don't.
had a lot
I
of
don't-
vivid dreams
I don't
like that.
remember dreams.
Well,
And
dreams-
even if I do have one, I usually have forgotten it by
Dreams,
that day.
you remember the ones whenever you're like in between phases of sleeping. So he's either like on or off. So
Yeah.
it, just, it makes sense
When it's time to go off,
It's not-
turn
it's not
the TV
efficient.
off, and then go off.
Dreaming is not efficient.
No.
because you need to be
Get as much
full,
sleep.
It's
full
too
REM
close to
cycle.
fantasy.
There you go. Thinking about my sports team.
Well,
Anyways,
guys, this has been everything I dreamed of.
I don't
and more.
know
Can we
if
do it
anybody
again
is
soon?
going to enjoy any of
I
this,
think
but we
this
had a
is
lot of fun.
Going to be everyone's favorite episode. Is what I think.
I think so too.
There was some ridiculous stuff in this.
Yeah, like Marvel movies are bad. Come on, who thinks that?
That was an odd moment.
Oh, you better sign us off.
I'm so sorry to everyone listening, but
We'll never do this again. I promise.
I don't know what to say to you, but I'm glad you listened. Thank you to everybody that joined in this week. And Christmas is quickly approaching.
Yep.
We're really excited. We got some really exciting things happening around here. And I hope this season's treating you well. And we will see you next week. Hey guys, it's Russ. Thanks so much for listening. We really believe if we can get around tables instead of behind screens, if we can talk to each other instead of at each other, we can make the world better. To help us do that, here are a few things you can do to help. First, if you haven't yet, leave a review on Apple or Spotify and hit subscribe on YouTube. This helps more than you know. Also, if you have been impacted by the community out of which this podcast comes, that's X Church, Maybe you're local or you've been touched by the messages and impact across the country, even the world. I want to encourage you to support this work. A powerful life principle is to invest in the people and places that invest in you. And so I want to invite you to do that right now by going to thex.church/give. You can give a one-time small gift, a sacrificial gift, or even become a recurring partner. Together, let's keep elevating the conversation, thinking higher, loving deeper, and making the world better. Cheers.